Hi there, I'm Vincent and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing avoid these huge no-contact mistakes. I provide audio coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details. www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast, and today we are discussing avoid these huge no-contact mistakes. If you have gone through a breakup, then you might have heard people suggest you implement the no-contact rule to try and increase the chance of you one day getting your ex back. It's important to say that there are many different versions of a no-contact rule that you can find online, and I believe that my version will give you the best possible chance of success. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring the bell for notifications so you can familiarise yourself with my version of the rule. Using no contact can be incredibly beneficial, but only if you avoid some huge mistakes. In today's podcast, I'm going to speak of 3 huge mistakes that you need to avoid when using no contact. So let's get straight into this, and number 1 is ignoring your ex. The reason someone uses no contact is to try and get their ex back, whilst also recovering from the breakup. If you don't want your ex back, then although you aren't communicating, this isn't actually the no contact rule. If you do want your ex back, then my version of no contact does not suggest that you ignore your ex unless they are being negative or abusive. If your ex contacts you, then in the vast majority of instances, you should reply. It doesn't matter who dumped who, when it happened, or why. If you want your ex back and you receive contact, then you must respond. It doesn't matter if the contact is short or long, via text or phone call. If you want your ex back, then you must respond. The communication stage can be challenging, but navigating it effectively is a crucial step to reconnecting with your ex. So ignoring your ex when you want them back is a huge mistake, which I hear time and time again. Often people make this mistake because they are using other people's versions of the no contact rule, versions that I certainly don't agree with. Some of these varieties of no contact include advice such as not responding to your ex within a certain time frame, even if they reach out to you. I am hugely, massively against this advice. In my opinion, if you want to try to get your ex back and they reach out to you, it doesn't matter how long it has been, you should reply. Additionally, and linked to this, some people suggest you should only reply if your ex sends you a message of a certain length. Again, I do not agree with this, I do not believe in this, and even if your ex sends you a very short message, which might be referred to as a breadcrumb, I believe that you can grow the largest tree from the smallest seed. I believe that you can grow the strongest relationship from the smallest first contact. So I definitely believe that if you receive contact, even if it's very short, even if it's a breadcrumb, if you want your ex back, I strongly suggest that you reply. In my belief, if you ignore your ex when you want to try to get them back, this is a huge mistake. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast about huge mistakes that you need to avoid when using no contact. And number 2 is contacting your ex at the wrong time. So I believe that if you have been dumped, you should never contact your ex again unless they contact you first. I also believe that if you are the dumper and you've changed your mind and you want to get your ex back, then you do need to send out an initial message. There are also caveats to these rules that I've just given you. There are some differences which you can understand by listening to my other podcasts that I've done on this subject when I get really in depth about the communication stage. But in today's podcast, I'm just trying to break it down as simply as possible, describing my variety of a rule, which is if you have been dumped, you should never contact your ex again unless they contact you first, except for a few exceptions. And also, if you are a dumper and you've changed your mind, then you do need to reach out first. But the type of message you send needs to be very specific and very much to the way I describe in other podcasts, because if you go off on a tangent, then you do run the risk of derailing any potential reconnection. The huge mistake in this point is when you contact your ex at the wrong time. So when we consider what I've just said, if you have been dumped and you reach out to your ex, then in most instances, I believe this would be a bad move and a bad decision. Additionally, if you were the dumper and you decided that you wanted to get your ex back, you changed your mind, but you decided not to reach out to your ex, then I believe that again, this would be the wrong decision. Contacting your ex at the wrong time can be very problematic. It can really cause your ex to lose romantic emotional attraction for you at the very time where you need to be growing it. You need to be in a position where your ex is feeling a high level of romantic emotional attraction for you. That is how you will stand an opportunity of reconnecting. If you contact your ex at the wrong time, if you don't navigate the communication stage effectively, then unfortunately you are more likely to cause your ex to lose additional romantic emotional attraction for you rather than gaining it. And we also have to consider that since you've gone through a breakup, the level of romantic emotional attraction that your ex is currently feeling for you is likely quite low. This, of course, will differ depending on your situation, but ultimately, you can't afford your ex to lose any more attraction for you because the breakup would have caused some effect. So if we move forward with positivity, if we're the type of person who is doing everything right, then one crucial element of this is knowing when and when not to contact your ex to give you the best chance of success. Of course, there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. Nothing works 100% of the time and nothing fails 100% of the time. All we can do is put ourselves in the best possible position to achieve success. And contacting your ex at the wrong time will not put you in the best possible position. It will effectively cause you to go off track and lead you to a point of disappointment. So now let's move into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast about huge mistakes to avoid when using the no contact rule. And point number 3 is clock watching. So a huge mistake that some people make when using the no contact rule is that they clock watch, they stand still, they wait. When you implement the no contact rule, you aren't supposed to sit there. Okay, just because you aren't contacting your ex during this time, this doesn't mean that you are waiting around doing nothing. You must be active in your progression. You must be growing every single day, going through self-improvement, becoming a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, a better version of yourself tomorrow than you are currently today. You can't clock watch for 2 reasons. One, as I've just said, there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. Even if you do everything right, we can't guarantee that you will reconnect. And hence you can't wait around, you can't clock watch, you can't stand still. You need to live your life. If you're not living your life and you never reconnect with your ex, then you'll be wasting valuable life of where you could have been happy in a new connection. Additionally, you shouldn't clock watch because it actually decreases the chance of you one day getting your ex back. If you are living an active life, making new connections, going through self-improvement, then you will actually be making yourself a more attractive proposition for your ex. If you don't do these things, then you will be more likely to make further mistakes. You will be more likely to contact your ex at an inappropriate time, for instance. Additionally, you won't be going through self-improvement. The key to reconnecting with your ex is that if and when you do meet again, they believe that you're a better person than they remembered. You need to be better in every single way than your ex previously remembered when they last saw you. Physically, mentally, spiritually, skillfully. Everything you do during the no contact rule can increase the possibility of you reaching the version 2.0 of yourself. You need to be a version 2.0 so that if and when you see your ex again, they are wowed. They would have already shown interest, and hence that is why you might have met. But then if they are wowed because they see the improvements, this is when you can really start to regrow a new connection on stronger foundations. It is a huge mistake to wait around. It's a huge mistake to stand still. It's a huge mistake to clock watch. Just because implementing my version of a no contact rule means that at this specific moment you are not contacting your ex, that doesn't mean you sit around watching TV 24/7. You need to be doing everything you can to get to that version 2.0 of yourself, and also to make new connections. If you mix with new people, you will be much more likely to attract your ex through social proofing, and additionally, there is always the possibility that you will meet somebody who ticks even more boxes than your ex. You might think this is impossible right now, but trust me, there is every chance that you will meet somebody even better than your ex, especially if you've gone through self-improvement. If you have grown your attraction net, you will be able to attract more people than before. You will be able to attract better people than before. And hence, if you mix with new people and make new connections, there's every chance that you will find somebody even better than your ex. Then if and when your ex contacts you, you might not be interested in reconnecting anyway. You might be friendly, you might be platonic, you might not want to speak with them at all. But ultimately, if you meet somebody even better, you won't want to reconnect romantically with your former partner. You never know what the future holds, and if you go through life with positivity, there is more chance that positivity will come towards you. Luck is where opportunity meets preparation. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. DateMe.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, DateMe.tips, check it out now.